Hi, everybody. This is a little impromptu flute cast we're doing that we're calling Wall Hangers because it addresses what you do with an instrument when you've sort of been handed it for the first time and you're not sure its background, its how well-tuned an instrument it is. How do you play an instrument that somebody else might say, this is a wall hanger. This is an instrument that I'm really not going to want to play because I don't think it's a quality instrument. So this beautiful instrument was gifted to me yesterday by our good friend Tom Sesla. Tom and Barbara are on a round-the-country trip. Tom is doing teaching race car drivers at various tracks around the country to drive.
Yeah.
So, Tom, welcome to the studio. What do you think of the studio?
Oh, it's pretty neat. Nice setup you have here. Yeah. Well, I'm from Florida, and we went up to Mid-Ohio to do a high-performance driving event, and then we came over to Palmer, Mass. to do one in the interim, visiting with Clinton Vera here in Connecticut. And when we were in India, I happened to pick up this high quality. It says it right on there, so it must be true.
Best quality. If you can see that on here.
From a street hawker in India, so you know it's got to be good.
This best quality instrument, what do you do with it when you get it in your hands, especially when everybody's watching you? First thing I'd like to do is just start from the bottom and see what kind of breath pressure is going to get the best sound out of the instrument. I start very softly and bring it up to a high breath pressure and listen for where the best tone of that note is going to be. And at a fairly soft breath pressure, this kind of wants to break into the second octave, right? So that tells me I'm going to use a low breath pressure and try to get a good sound on the other notes out of a low breath pressure sound. And now I'm going to start going up the scale. And this is the point where a lot of people will say, this isn't tuned to the scale I'm familiar with. I don't know what scale this has been tuned to. I don't know what temperament this has been tuned to. Is it a Western scale, or is it an Indian raga scale, or is it just an untuned instrument? Maybe it was tuned randomly, or maybe it was tuned to the maker's dimensions of the maker's hand. That's the way the old Native American flutes were tuned. So I'm going to run up the scale, and I'm going to listen for the tuning. Maybe it doesn't sound familiar to me. This is the point where it might go on the wall. And this is the point where we as the musicians are going to rescue it from that fate. We're going, and this I was taught to do by Peter Phippen way back. He handed me one of his historic flutes at a time, and I played dozens of his historic flutes. And the message in Peter Phippen's lesson was, find the notes that work for you. It might be 2 or 3 or 4 notes in the instrument, and use those to make a song out of it. That's the essence of the lesson. And so what I do is go up the scale looking for pairs and triplets of notes that work together. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm going to use my eyebrows, like I've done in other videos, to sort of indicate my thinking of whether I'm going to use that note or not. Like those. Okay, I like those 3. Not sure about that top note, but I've got 4 good notes. This is great. I can make a song out of that. I can even try the second register. If I play those same finger positions up in the second register, a little bit higher breath pressure, maybe I leak the top finger to get the second register. Same notes kind of work up there, so we'll go with that, okay? I'm going to use those to make a little bit of a song here. And one more thing I can do, if I've got an instrument that is tuned, like this Shruti box, this is another Indian instrument. So this is Indian instrument together with classic Indian instrument. And this is tuned to a Western scale. And what I've done before the video is I've looked for a note that matches one of the notes that I think are the good notes on this instrument. So Tom is going to play this just by squeezing it. Go ahead, Tom. Novice musician, has not done a lot of music in his life, but here he is on video playing the Indian Shruti box, and it matches this note. So once I've got that, I'm also going to open another one to make a chord. Keep going. There it is. And now this is the root note and also the fifth. And I'm going to find the fifth by counting up 7 steps from the root. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've got 2 notes that are in harmony, the root and the fifth. And now we'll make a song out of that and see how it sounds. Thanks, Tom. That's the Flute Cast. Hope you can join us at a workshop, upcoming workshops that we have, and hope we can do a Flute Cast down in Florida next time. We'll take the whole gear down to Florida and do a Flute Cast down there.
Looking forward to your visit.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, bye.
Bye for now.